At Christmas, my uncle raised his glass and said, "Glad you could join us. Must be hard to fit us into your busy billionaire schedule." My cousin snorted. My mom just said, "Try not to make everything about yourself this year." I'd flown in on a red-eye, skipped meetings, missed a deal, just to be there. That night, I booked a chalet in Switzerland for the holidays, for me and me alone. When they called to ask why I wasn't coming back, I sent a picture of the fireplace and wrote, "Decided to make this year about myself after all." Maybe next time, just send a Christmas card with a photo of your private jet on it. Uncle Ray's voice cracked through the kitchen like ice snapping. Or better yet, he added, topping off his scotch, "Send your assistant." "Ray," Mom warned, not looking up from the mashed potatoes she was pretending needed that much focus. "No, let's not pretend it's normal for someone to blow into town for exactly 30 hours and act like they're doing us all a favor." Ray's voice rose now, performative. "You see how she landed in her little cashmere coat like a royal visit?" "I came straight from the airport," I said. My voice came out too quiet. "Oh!" My cousin Mira put a hand to her chest, mocking. "Did the PJ not have in-flight Wi-Fi? Couldn't close your stock trades on time?" They laughed, the kind of laughter that makes your ribs feel like hollowed-out drums. "Try not to make everything about yourself this year, Harper," Mom muttered, still not looking at me. "It's exhausting." The worst part wasn't that they said it. It's that it wasn't even surprising. My name is Harper Lane. I'm 26 years old. I own 3 companies. And somehow I am still the problem child. Not because I rebelled, not because I failed, but because I succeeded, without asking them for permission. I sat in that dining room chair with 2 hours of sleep, a mild migraine, and a stomach full of acid. I'd flown cross-country, delayed a closing meeting that could have earned me 7 figures, wore the goddamn coat they always teased me about just to avoid hearing how disheveled I looked, and I was still the disappointment. It's not that I don't feel things, it's that they don't see them. They never have. The cast of my disassembly. Mom, Janice, 58, sharp-tongued, always composed, queen of silent judgments. Every time she sighs, a part of me forgets how to breathe. Uncle Ray, 61, loud, bitter, still trying to make his construction company look more successful than it is. Thinks sarcasm is wisdom. Mira, 24 cousin, perfect daughter with a master's in passive aggression, has never worked a job that didn't come from family connections. Dad died when I was 17. The one person who understood me, gone. Since then, I've been either a burden or a stranger to the rest of them. They see my life, wealth, independence, headlines, and think I've chosen it over them. But I built it in the silence their cruelty left behind. "We needed your signature," Mom said between bites of turkey, like it was a casual footnote. "For what?" I asked, eyes narrowing. "To refinance the lake house. Ray and I co-signed it, and you still own a third. We couldn't move forward without your part." "So, you forged my signature?" No one spoke. Then, Mira laughed. "It's not like it's hurting you. You're loaded." "That's not the point," I said, my voice low and vibrating. "You falsified legal documents with my name." "Don't be dramatic," Mom snapped. "We raised you. You'd have nothing if it weren't for this family." That was when I stood up. "You raised me?" My voice came out colder than I meant it to. "You left me in a house full of grief and silence after Dad died and made me feel guilty for breathing. You said I handled things better alone, remember?" Ray rolled his eyes. "You were always sensitive. You made everything harder." "I was 17, I said. And I buried my father alone because none of you could stop pretending it wasn't inconvenient. The table went still. You think success erased that? I said. I worked 3 jobs through college while you were siphoning checks from my inheritance. Don't pretend you did me favors. You took whatever you could from me the second you saw I wouldn't need you anymore. I remember the night I gave up Harvard for Mom. She called me crying. Dad's life insurance had run dry and she couldn't keep the house. I deferred my acceptance, stayed back, worked double shifts to help. I was 18. The house was sold anyway. Ray convinced her to refinance it and pocketed the excess. I was never told. They told everyone I chose business school over Ivy League, told the story like I was greedy. They built a myth that I abandoned them. When the truth was, I broke myself to keep us afloat. And when I was no longer useful, they buried me under the lie. I reached into my coat pocket and set a small black flash drive on the table. What's that? Mira said. Evidence, I replied, calm. I had every document. Bank transfers from my trust into Ray's company, the forged refinancing forms, voicemails from Mom asking me not to make things difficult. I had spent a year preparing for this moment, not out of vengeance, but out of necessity. You want to make everything about money? I said. Fine. Let's talk about theft, fraud, and manipulation. I've got files to send to the Attorney General if you prefer. Ray's face turned a violent red. Mira looked like she might vomit. Mom said nothing. Her fork dropped. You wouldn't, Ray whispered. Try me. He stood up, knocking his chair back, fists clenched. You're bluffing. I picked up my phone and tapped send. The files went to my lawyer, just like I promised. You all finally hear me now? I said, voice cool and steady. Or do you need another file? Mira sobbed. Ray stormed out. Mom just sat there, deflated. For the first time in my life, she looked small. You were never invisible, I said softly, almost kindly. You just made me disappear so you didn't have to see yourselves. And then I left. I flew out that night, booked a chalet in Switzerland, one of these places with pine walls and a fireplace older than America. No service, no noise. 2 days later, Mira texted, Why didn't you come back? I sent a picture of the fireplace, captioned, Decided to make this year about myself after all. Mom called. I let it ring. She called again and again. Then she left a message I never thought I'd hear. I don't expect you to forgive us, but I want to understand you, if you'll let me. Forgiveness isn't a door you walk through. It's a hallway you crawl, inch by inch. I listened to her message every day for a week before I called her back. We didn't solve everything. She cried. I didn't. For once, she heard me, and for once I didn't have to shout. Mira emailed me an apology. It was messy, scattered, human. She ended it with, I didn't know what you carried. I want to know now. Maybe that's the best we can ask of people. Not to fix the past, but to stop denying it. I'm still in Switzerland. Still alone. But not lonely. I've built enough in this life to know I'm not made from what I escaped, but from what I chose to become after. This year I chose peace. This year I chose truth. This year I chose me.